Today we're going to talk about the Okefenokee Swamp, which is found in the state of Georgia, right above Florida. That little finger that's sticking out there, right at the top of that. You can see it here. Here's Claw.
Hi, Claw. I was out looking around at the Okefenokee Swamp.
Oh, that's where we are, yes, at the Okefenokee Swamp, the southern part of Georgia.
Yes, and I saw an alligator right over there.
Yeah. We'll show them the picture in a little bit.
He's my friend.
Oh, you have lots of friends.
Listen to the friends singing.
Oh, birds, yes. Just a little bit ago, I heard a woodpecker. It sounded like someone hammering.
We came here in a boat.
We did come here in a boat. Mr. Overall is a very good driver. And one of the moose cousins came along. Oh, I heard the woodpecker. One of the moose cousins came along.
And we went between the cypress trees.
Right, cypress trees have their roots that kind of stick out of the water. They call them knees, just like, well, let's see, there's my knee. Like I'm the tree, and here's the knee sticking right out of the water. Here's a picture of a knee coming right out of the water, and there can be lots of knees. A cypress tree can have many, many knees. A swamp is a wetland with mostly trees. It has water that's very slow moving. Sometimes it's easy to see that the water is moving, but sometimes it's a little more difficult. You have to look closely to see the water movement here in this swamp. People who live in the swamp or near the swamp are called swampers, and sometimes they carry a lot of things around in the back of their truck. I can see a little green boat here that they use to get around in the swamp. We didn't have a boat like that, so we had to rent one. You can see Mr. Overall with the boat that he's rented. It was a rainy day, and here we are going right out through the swamp. We're going a little faster, though, than the water is. There are some kayakers who are going a little more slowly than we are, but they're very quiet where we have a motor. These people are fishing. There are lots of fish in the Okefenokee Swamp as well. And here Moose is enjoying the ride, one of the moose cousins. He sees long-legged birds that can wade in the water. You can see them flying right around looking for a place where they can wade in and find some fish. There's also birds that are not long-legged. They just fly in, swoop, and get what they need. That way they're predators. And here is a tree that has some holes in it. That's where a woodpecker has been looking for his meal as well. Other things fly as well. There's dragonflies and damselflies that come and land right on our hats. It was pretty cool. Here you can see trees, some big trees, some smaller trees as we're going along here. All of this is part of the swamp. And then we went off the main channel into a little side channel underneath the tupelos and the cypress trees. There's something growing on them. It looks like beards, like the trees have beards. That's called Spanish moss. It was pretty cool. And there were signs, just like you have road signs along a road here, there were signs in the swamp. We turned out of the main channel and back one of the side channels, a little stream that goes back here. You can see we're going past trees that have big, fat bottoms on their trunks. These are called buttresses, these fat bottoms, and some of them belong to cypress trees, some of them belong to tupelo trees. Oh, and here's a little sign in the stream that tells us to turn to the right. We don't want to get lost in the Okefenokee Swamp, so we obey the signs. There are lots of little insects here called boatmen that can be right on the surface of the water. Fish like to eat them. There are flowers in the swamp and all kinds of lilies. Oh, and look carefully, there are more knees right in there. Can you find the cypress knees? The scientists don't know for sure why they are there, but look, oh my goodness, Spanish moss and another big buttress that was there. I think those are so interesting. I love to look at plants, especially big plants like trees. That one looks like it has a little nose. Very cool. People aren't sure exactly why the tupelo trees and the cypress trees have the wide bottoms, and especially why the cypress trees have knees. There's a lot of people that have ideas, but nobody's really 100% sure. There are other plants in the swamps as well. There you can see a little purple flower. You can see things that look like grass. Oh, there's the iris. Beautiful. Some irises grow in swamps. Some irises could grow in your garden as well. And other flowers there that are going to make fruit later in the season for the birds. You can see the trees in this part of the swamp are pretty tall with that Spanish moss. Just look around. Now, we weren't really going this fast. I had to speed up the tape because we were going down these parts of the swamp for hours. And I don't think you want to take hours. So I'm just going to let you watch as we go pretty fast in the picture, but really slow in real life. We stopped for lunch in the middle of the day at a little pavilion. Mr. Overall unpacked his backpack. We brought along a towel and things to dry off, umbrellas, because it had been a rainy morning. But at lunchtime it was not raining and very nice. Claw had been taking a little nap between the snacks and the bug spray, but he decided to wake up because it was a great place to be.
This is the boat we used to get here in the Okefenokee Swamp. And there's, hi Moose Cousin. And there's life preservers in case you fall in the water. Yes, they help you float. And there are the seats, and there is a paddle, and there's Mr. Overall's jacket, because it was raining. But it's not now. Right, the water is very still, and it's reflecting the trees that you see. Whoa, yeah, there's the reflection, and there's the trees.
But it's about to get very exciting because when we looked around on the other side of the pavilion, there was an alligator! We saw our first alligator right now!
Hey, little buddy. Where are you going?
Hello, buddy.
Do you see the alligator? Look at his nostrils. They stick up out of the water. And his eyes. We watched this little friend for a long time, and then we decided we'd get in the boat again with the Moose Cousin and go looking for other alligators.
We saw lots of leaves.
But no alligators.
Right. We're looking very carefully. We saw flowers. Some of these are flowers that eat insects. They're very interesting.
But no alligators.
And buttresses.
But no, oh, bubbles. But no alligators. Oh, a flower. But no alligators.
Yes. But you know, the plants were very interesting too. And just looking is fun. Ooh, look. The trunks of the trees are black. There was a fire here. How? Well, because every once in a while swamps get very dry. And then fires can be in the swamps. So here are trees that have their trunks all black from where the fire used to be a few years ago. But not now. No, not now, because it's very wet right now. No alligators. No, we didn't see any alligators here. And look back through there, you can see the needles of the cypress trees, and you can see, oh, there he is! There he is! Just went under. I didn't get to see him very well. Huh. So there might be alligators underneath us. Oh, and look ahead. Whoa! That's a big one. Yes, we're going to go very slowly. You can see his tail moving from side to side. Why do you think it's a him? Well, he's out in deep water, and he's big. The mother alligators, the girls, are a little smaller, and they're usually back where the water is shallower, so their babies can be safe. Right, so their babies can be safe. But look at this guy. If we go too quickly, he'll disappear, so we're just going to follow him very slowly. You can't see his whole body at once, but you can see his back. Ooh, his back came up a little more, and there's his tail going side to side. People have to kick their feet to swim, but the alligator just has his tail go side to side. Ooh, you can see his nose and his head and his tail. That is so cool. Yes, it is. But I'm not going to jump into water. No, wise choice. There are things that can be dangerous, and it's good to keep your distance from them, even while appreciating how cool they are in nature. Oh, look, he's starting to submerge to go under. We got a little too close. Oh, and I can't see him. We could have been driving over hundreds of alligators. Well, we probably drove over quite a few today. Now we went back to the campsite. There's our camper. And there's me. And there's a moose cousin.
Spanish moss is fun to play in. We were playing hide and seek, weren't we, cuz? He says yes. Look what else lives in the Okefenokee Swamp.
Oh, Claw, that's a black bear. And this is another example where we don't want to get close. We're going to back away. I can use the zoom on the camera, but we're not getting anywhere close to the black bear. Cool, though. Yes! The Okefenokee Swamp had lots of cool things. It had Spanish moss. It had buttress trees of cypress and tupelo that have really fat trunks. And there's an alligator beside that one. Oh! It was so fun to be in the swamp. Some people think swamps are just yucky, but they don't know. If you learn about things and you're curious, there are so many interesting things that you can see. Yes, and we're going to see if there are interesting things that the kids remember. If they get their notebook and a pen, they can write down some words or draw some pictures of things that they've seen in our video today. That would be cool. Hey, and they could try to spell the word alligator. That's a big one, but you're right. If you take it in parts, called syllables, and you make your best guess, your best is always cool. Someday they'll learn to spell alligator, but for right now they can take their best guess. So let's try. Alligator. That could be one of the things that they draw a picture of. That could be one of the things. And then they could write some other things that they remember from seeing your swamp adventure. And maybe they could go on a swamp adventure of their own. Or play in a mud puddle. Or play in a mud puddle. That's also wet. You're right. If their mom or their dad or the grown-up says that it's all right. Oh, usually you can clean off. But yes, it's better to ask permission before you play in a mud puddle or a swamp. Hey, it's been fun telling you all about the Okefenokee Swamp. Bye! Bye! Bye, Claw. See you next time. at overall school.